Hey guys, what up? It's Divided We Fall here, and I wanted to put this out. This popped up in my feed, and it's Scott Baio, aka Chachi from Happy Days, and it says Scott Baio drops the Diddy List. The Diddy List. And just listen.
Robert De Niro, Rob Reiner, Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, and others. From The View, Rachel Maddow, Mark Ruffalo, Mark Hamill, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Richard Marx, Alec Baldwin, Pink, Ron Howard, Julia Roberts, George Clooney, Leo DiCaprio, Oprah, Cardi B, Lizzo, Ariana Grande, Billie Eilish, Jennifer Garner, J-Lo, Andy Cohen, Cher, Bryan Cranston, Jamie Lee Curtis, Kathy Griffin, Michael Keaton, Rosie O'Donnell, John Stamos, Eva Longoria, John Legend and his wife, Spike Lee, Sean Astin, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, Jon Stewart, Bill Maher, Alyssa Milano, Bruce.
Okay, does that surprise any of you guys? That list? I'll play it again in just a second, but what I thought about when I thought about Scott Baio is his first role, which was Chachi on Happy Days. And if you notice here on this video, or this thing that he dropped, this list, it's just a few people. I mean, maybe a dozen people. And there's hundreds of fucking people on the Diddy lists. And if you notice, several of them come out, a little list here, a little list there, a little list everywhere, right? Whatever. So I thought Chachi, okay. So I Googled Chachi, right? Just for the fuck of it. Here it is up here. And it says, what is Chachi? In other words, like it has, what is the meaning of Chachi? Like, what is his name? Why do people call people Chachi? And then I got to this, and it says, what is Chachi in other words? And it says synonyms for Chachi. Mother, sister, something else. Spy cam is one. And if you go on the thesaurus for spy cam for Chachi, it goes on and it says, okay, so this is what Chachi means: covert camera, hidden camera, nanny camera, surveillance camera, discreet camera. Now, does that seem weird to you guys? To me, it just seems really fucking weird. Now, let's go back to this. So, I think that, you know, these little lists...
Robert De Niro,
I like that, Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro being the first guy that he drops. So, but real quick, and I'll play this again. When I look at Chachi, they did Joni Loves Chachi after Happy Days. The Happy Days was, fuck, man, that was a long ass time ago, like probably in the 70s. And Happy Days. Ron fucking Howard was still, Opie from fucking the Andy Griffith Show, right? But anyway, on Happy Days, Chachi, him right here, Scott Baio, is, I don't know what to say. He's Fonzie's younger cousin, I guess, or whatever on the show. But yeah, they call him Chachi, and it's just, I don't know, I have no idea why that I went to and looked up synonyms of Chachi. I don't know why I did that. It just happened, right? And it fucking comes out hidden camera, spy camera, discreet camera, hidden, you know? It's like, what? How in the fuck can that be, right? So, anyway, whether Scott Baio is innocent or guilty, I know not. I have no clue. I have no clue. However, if you think about it, there's a couple different choices of Scott Baio coming out and dropping these dozen or so of the list. Okay, well, first I'll play it again for you guys, but I wanted to say that, isn't it weird that it's like, if you're gonna they never dropped the Epstein list, right? And, yet they're dropping this Diddy List, I'm sure there was thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people in 3 decades that went through Diddy, which was, Diddy's house is connected by a tunnel to the fucking Playboy Mansion. And, you know, so you can, I'll give you all the fucking receipts and everything if you want, you know, or look it up. Anyway, so the victims, okay, so it's hard to separate the victims from the abusers and all that type of shit. First of all, you got to take the minors out of it. They're a victim. I don't give a fuck how old they are, man, woman. If they're fucking under 18, they are a victim. And even into their later on, they're still victims. But that's whatever it is. I guess 2 consenting adults can do whatever they want. But, so anyway, it goes back to Chachi, all the way back to the Happy Days, right? Now, there could be 2 reasons or more. Scott Baio's eyes look funny right here, don't they? Anyway, there could be 2 different ways. He's on the tapes as oh yeah, there's 2 kinds. There's predators and there's victims at these parties and stuff. Okay, and Scott Baio, I mean, if Ron Howard, he's claiming, he drops the first name, Ron Howard, boom. Right? So it seems to me like what they're doing is, okay, whether Scott Baio is guilty or innocent depends on 2 things. I mean, he was young back in the day when he first got into Hollywood and probably was abused. He doesn't say if he was or not. But, it's just weird that all these Diddy names off the list are coming out in little chunks of a dozen people, 5 people, 20 people, you know, from all different areas. And it's like, show all of this gigantic list of thousands and thousands of people that went through there and through the Playboy Mansion and was abused by Hugh Hefner and was abused by Diddy and them, and Hugh Hefner and them, whatever, you know, the victims, the predators. So why aren't they, and then Epstein being a whole nother thing, which is the same type of racket, but just set up out in the Caribbean or whatever, and just ran a little bit differently. I don't know, to be honest, because they haven't dropped anything regarding the fucking Epstein list. So, to me, obviously, that tells me that there is a lot of very, very influential people at the Epstein list where it's just not going to come out, period, right? And then when you, like on this, are you surprised of any of these? What doesn't surprise you? And another thing I noticed real quick before I play this again is it seems like it's a pyramid scheme in a way, like it's a pyramid, and the top people, that's why I believe they went in and seized all the tapes and shit, is because digital shit and stuff, because they are in it. Whether they're politicians, feds, just rich people, people that have influence, they're in those parties. They're fucking in there. And so when they raided it, they got it all from them, the FBI and stuff, and went through it, and the politicians, and took their own shit out of there, right? And that's why it's taking so long. Remember, it took so long to try and get anything off the Epstein tapes. But just like the Epstein parties that had international people, the Diddy parties and obviously the Playboy parties had international people. Fuck, man, the Diddy parties, the white parties, you've got fucking Prince Harry, you know, and you have princes and princesses and kings and queens. You've got royalty over there, right? So those people are, you know, we do not live in a fucking straight up justice system. We know that, right? So I highly doubt that Diddy's in jail. I don't think that he would survive. I just don't think he's in there. It's all bullshit. And I don't think Epstein's dead either. I think that's bullshit. They wanted it to look like he committed suicide, yeah. And everyone goes, yeah, he committed suicide in his cell. That's the thing, is they wanted to cover that up. No, they wanted it to look, they wanted us to all think, oh, well, they killed him. He didn't kill himself. He could have used, the cord from his APAP machine to hang himself, not just a sheet, and blah, 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 and the cameras went out at this certain time when he died. No, they fucking had people come in and get him, his friends, or what, politicians, people that he had blackmail, who he was extorting. This is Epstein right now. Who he was extorting, pull him out of jail, prison, and fucking put him on whatever island he wanted to go to, or whatever, right? I mean, he's still alive, he's doing his thing, it's all good. Okay, and now let's go. So when people say, oh, Epstein didn't kill himself, no, he didn't. He's not dead. He's somewhere else. Think about it. He had way too much shit on everybody, where it's like, I'm not some hella criminal that's gotten away with something for, that has this shit down and has blackmail on everybody. You don't think fucking Epstein would say, look, if anything happens to me, if I go to prison, if I die, I've got 20 people or 50 solid people that are gonna fucking release these tapes and evidence of that you guys were there, FBI agents and police and all the way up to the top, presidents and shit, right? Bill Clinton, I mean, allegedly. So, anyway, so all what I'm trying to say is, so we never got anything from the Epstein tapes, period, because they supposedly killed him, right? And so that was kind of a way to just end the blackmail, because when you're under blackmail from someone, it is so hard to get, not that I've been under blackmail, but it's so hard to get out from blackmail, because there's nothing you could do. Someone could sit there, someone that's extorting you, and say, look, you got to keep paying me and keep paying me and keep paying me forever, or else I'm gonna let this information out. So and his freedom being, that's why he was like smiling, of course, at Epstein. Anyway, so he got out. Ghislaine Maxwell, didn't she get out, or they faked her death, whatever. Okay, now now, okay, now I want to move over to, so there was really higher up people. I have some other videos that's talking, where Joe Rogan's talking about going to a party down in Florida. I don't know where it was, but it was like an Illuminati type thing. It was at Disney World, that's right. And he said he went in, and it was like this, there was, R. Kelly, or whoever he is, and Tom Hanks passing this bitch back and forth. Sorry, this girl back and forth, fucking her and stuff, right? And I was just like, wow, you know. But I knew Tom Hanks, so anyway, with the Diddy thing, and we know there's white people, black people, you know, everybody. Ashton Kutcher, Miley, all of them. Ashton Kutcher's in a world of shit. And Danny Masterson, I don't know, maybe they throw a few low-hanging fruit, right? That's what they're doing, is throwing a few, like here, he's peppering in, like John Legend and his wife and all this. Now I'm going to play this. Think about all these people. I think they're just, out of each little group that they're, of names they're dropping, they'll drop like one, they'll pepper in like a couple high name ones, but when you get to Run Forrest Run, he's fucking at the top of the pyramid, and he's so big, I don't even know if people like him will get dropped. So anyway, I'm gonna play this again.
Nero, Rob Reiner, Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, and others. From The View, Rachel Maddow, Mark Ruffalo, Mark Hamill, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Richard Marx, Alec Baldwin, Pink, Ron Howard, Julia Roberts, George Clooney, Leo DiCaprio, Oprah, Cardi B, Lizzo, Ariana Grande, Billie Eilish, Jennifer Garner, J-Lo, Andy Cohen, Cher, Bryan Cranston, Jamie Lee Curtis, Kathy Griffin, Michael Keaton, Rosie O'Donnell, John Stamos, Eva Longoria, John Legend and his wife, Spike Lee, Sean Astin, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, Jon Stewart, Bill Maher, Alyssa Milano, Bruce.
Are you surprised by any of those
Nero,
names?
Rob Reiner.
Oh, I like this first one.
Robert De Niro.
Motherfucking Robert De Niro. So, notice that it's all people that were going after Trump, right, in this particular list. Isn't that kind of ironic? I mean, I'm not saying if, and, or why, but it's just strange. So, what I wanted to say is Scott Baio, this is a death wish if he wants to. I mean, he put Ron Howard. Fuck, that's what I was saying, is he was on Happy Days with Ron Howard. So he's either A, throwing these group of people under the bus, and he was involved, or B, he was throwing the people under the bus, and he wasn't involved. But but then why would he even get involved? So I think he's trying to get out in front of his own name being dropped. That's what I believe, my opinion, allegedly, is that he was there's tapes of him and everything, so he's putting this out to get out in front of his name being dropped if they ever drop the thousands and thousands of names, just from the Diddy shit. So Chachi over here. Isn't that funny? I looked up Chachi, which was his name, and it says fucking, the synonyms are spy cam, and, spy cam, covert camera, hidden camera, nanny cam, surveillance camera, discreet camera, inconspicuous camera, secret camera, stealth camera, undercover camera, Chachi. What the fuck? That's crazy, though. I mean, how can that be one of the fucking, I just don't get how that could be one of the things, but it is. Okay, now I'm gonna go down here. This is what I left for on this when I watched this. I put, hey Chachi, I noticed the most famous person on the small list you have is surprisingly Ron Howard, which played on Happy Days with you, Chachi. I also noticed that Chachi is ironically the synonym for hidden camera, spy camera, etc., which plays a huge role in this particular case, rather the Diddy case. Also, like a few, because think about it. I mean, the hidden cameras, that is the whole entire backbone of his of fucking Diddy's empire, Diddy's thing that he had going, and probably with Epstein too. It's just strange. I mean, he's probably a victim and a predator, allegedly, in my opinion. Chachi is yeah, da 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 da, and then I put also, it's like a few names here, a few names there. Has anyone else noticed that? It also seems that regarding the Diddy list, the higher up pyramid they are on, the higher up, the quieter and less exposed they are. And then I put, if ever run, Forrest, run. And obvious because Tom Hanks, according to all kinds of shit, was there, you know, the whole time. He was into these parties. On the Epstein ones, I haven't seen anything on this for sure, but. And then I go back to Epstein. Really? You're telling me they signed a fucking list to fly on the little Lolita that goes only to that island? People would sign their real name and get on there on the flight logs? That to me makes no fucking sense. I mean, it just doesn't. I'd be like, fuck you, man. I'm not signing this shit. I'd sign Mickey Mouse. Or, you know, I just wouldn't put my name on there. Like, that's just stupid. So, I don't know what to make of this. Anyone that has any fucking... I really want to hear you guys' opinion, because this is just stupid. You know? Anyway, so he dropped a handful of people.
Rob Reiner, Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, and others. From The View, Rachel Maddow, Mark Ruffalo, Mark Hamill, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Richard Marx, Alec Baldwin, Pink, Ron Howard, Julia Roberts, George Clooney, Leo DiCaprio, Oprah, Cardi B, Lizzo, Ariana Grande, Billie Eilish, Jennifer Garner, J-Lo, Andy Cohen, Cher, Bryan Cranston, Jamie Lee Curtis, Kathy Griffin, Michael Keaton, Rosie O'Donnell, John Stamos, Eva Longoria, John Legend and his wife, Spike Lee, Sean Astin, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, Jon Stewart, Bill Maher, Alyssa Milano, Bruce.
So either he's innocent and he's doing this courageous thing, which would... He dropped fucking some serious names there. Oprah, fucking, you know, you heard it right there. I mean, he dropped a lot of big names. So, I mean, that is literally suicide if he's innocent or if he's guilty. I just don't understand why he would come out with this. Now, I don't know what he's offering up as a receipt, but obviously it's gotta be that he has the list. I don't know how the FBI could even protect him. I think the FBI is part of it. I don't know. Anyone, please, if you have any fucking solutions or ideas or What the fuck is going on? I mean, I'm just telling you what I see, and I think that's freaking lame. Like, why in the fuck would he do this? Because he's either, like, you know, he's not doing anything for the victims, or if he is, he's gonna get himself killed. Remember Isaac Cappy? That first called out Hollywood and said, first of all, I'm not suicidal. And he died the next day. Of course, they killed him the next day because he went through the whole bunch of names, saying Tom Hanks and da-da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da-da and all these people. But anyway, so yeah, all these people that he named, I'm not surprised. But all the members of The View and Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg and fucking Oprah, that's some pretty, I mean, Oprah's big. Oprah's a, pardon the pun, she's rich. So anyway, Scott Baio, a.k.a. Chachi, a.k.a. Hidden Cameras, which is weird. I don't know. That's like a weird connection that's even it, you know? If you have a book thesaurus, not a computer, look it up. I have one somewhere, but I've checked it on different thesauruses, and then yes, it does stand, it is used for that word, and I just don't get it. Why? Anyway, okay. This is a lot for me to kind of swallow, because I always wonder, like, why would they do this? Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, okay, well, I love you guys. It's Divided We Fall. You know, pray for all those people and children and anyone that's being assaulted like that, sexually or just anybody, you know, and people thinking they're fucking larger than life and that anyone's life is worth more than someone else's and all that shit. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Divided We Fall. Peace.